Alright, I'm just going to start this playing. Hi, I'm John. I'm going through my videos, most popular down. This one is 43 minutes. Still got a lot of views, over 100,000. And this is just another example of a video I'm quite proud of. I put a lot of work into this video. Obviously 43 minutes. There's a lot of shooting, a lot of work. I was excited about this project. And I was excited. Sorry, I paused it on my end, but you won't see that. I was excited to make this project, even though there was a lot unknown. And there's gratification here in that something I worked hard on. I saw results. There was like vindication. I don't know if that's the right term, but there is a feedback loop there. Because there are videos I put a lot of work into, and it's like 100 views, and which is okay. I don't get that feedback. I still enjoy the process of making the video, so that keeps me going. So what I'm doing here is here with you is I'm going through. I'm seeing this video cold. I haven't seen it for quite a while, and just kind of reliving that experience, what it was like shooting, what's going through my head, and it's something I've been wanting to do a while, and YouTube has kind of reminded me that I need to be uploading more content. Oh, my old Super Duty. So in the background, I just had a glimpse of it there, but. You might not. I may be out of sequence with what I'm showing on the screen here, but my shop where the magic happens too. Yeah. So a background for this video, and I do explain it. And I forget the guy's channel, but I'm sure it's in the original video. I saw a video about Raspberry Pi arcade cabinet, and I'm like, that clicks all boxes for me. I am old. I love old vintage arcade games, and I've always wanted to do a Raspberry Pi project. It intrigues me. It is like it's like a computer like the size of a candy box, right, or a deck of cards, right. So it's a super tiny computer that's got some amazing power for what it is. It's good for coding, and it's like, I don't know what they are, $100 now maybe, but I haven't done any research before doing this video. As again, I'm coming in cold, so I'm just watching this like you maybe for the first time. So yeah, so with the Raspberry Pi, I wanted to do a video of it. Or I want to do a project of a Raspberry Pi, and then if I could when I found I could put that with arcades, it was like, yes, this is it. I'm getting glimpses of the video, and I'm laughing at myself, but which is good. So where am I here? Our arcades had such an impact on me, on young John, and I was fascinated. And to this day, I remember the first time being in one, and the one that was it wasn't even in my town. It was close to my town. Actually, I remember an arcade machine at like a gas service station, and just like absolutely fascinated by it. It was like a racing one, and some of them were like maybe even more like not even like computery. They were more mechanical, but it just has such an impact on me. And then kind of in the next town is a little bigger than where I grew up. There was an arcade in a mall, and I remember exactly where it was in that mall. I remember the smell of it. I remember the sounds, and it's just like it was such a pull. and of course my parents were like unsure of it, right? Because there's older kids there, and I'm sure I don't know, they're worried about their kids, something influencing them, right? And I mean it's the same nowadays, but so they were a little, wary of it, right? And then, but my mother wanted to shop and look for deals, and the kids were bored, so I would maybe get like $1 worth of quarters, 4 quarters, and go and play. And of course, in 2 minutes I'd be back, right? And then be like, oh, like of course, what a waste of money, right? And but I would watch and dream and analyze, and it was just yeah, it's just the most amazing feeling to be in that, and the sounds, and of course, the arcades machines were like that for a reason. It's called an attract. The screen, they actually call it an attract sound, an attract screen, and it's meant to pull you in, right? And it worked. It worked, and that's all I wanted to do, and all I wanted to be, and the people that were good at it, I wanted to be them. So it had a pull. So from that moment on, I wanted an arcade cabinet, an arcade machine, and there was a TV show. It was like Silver Spoons or something. They had like a Frogger in their house. I was like, oh my, the person has made it, right? They have one. So and I'm always looking online, arcade cabinets and things like that. So I'm like, I can build one. I have the skills. So this is it. I want to try it. And again, I kind of went in this cold, like, and a lot of my videos are, I'm trying to show the experience, not necessarily showing you how to, because and I do have a few how-to videos, but what's the experience of me doing this thing, the experience of me putting flooring in, or the experience of me landscaping or fixing something, or restoring something, right? So this is my experience, how to do it, like what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I struggled with, what my successes were. So it's always, my videos tend to be about me experiencing this, right? And it's very, I'm sure that sounds very egocentric, but guess what? That's what we all are. So yeah, so it's me. Yeah, this is my experience, and I'm so grateful for that original creator, content creator, to put up that video. But I do have to say, and I explain it here, he oversold it, and which is good, because I wouldn't have done it if he didn't oversell it. So there was some struggles. So if you are building an arcade cabinet, most likely best, don't use a Raspberry Pi. Use an old PC, like an old XP machine that's in your basement or in the garbage would work perfectly well. Would have worked better, and it's more. It's more for me. The ethos of the build is, and all my builds are like found things, repurposed, reused things, like not necessarily spending money on something. I can go. I'm not a bazillionaire, but I can go and buy an arcade cabinet. It's something that I'm in the privileged position to do. But I don't want to. I want to build it. I want to do it myself. I want to figure it out, and I want to make it my own. It's kind of the IKEA effect. Something you build and make yourself is more value to. Of course, this is the best arcade cabinet in the world because I made it. I really like this. I don't know, the schematics, I guess, of this one. It's a good size. I was a little weary of it. It didn't seem to be big enough for the right size, but my joints are pretty bad. But this was my prototype, and of course I could make it better. So, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it, because at this point I don't even think I had all the parts. They were still on order. So, looking at the video, just laughing. It's distracting. Yeah, I didn't have the parts, so I didn't even know if all this would work. Right? I was pretty sure it would work. But I had some confidence there, but I was wanted to build it, so going through the motions. But yeah, the 43 minutes seems excessive. Like, I edited this down a ton. It was there was a lot of content here and a lot of stuff edited out just for flow, right? And I'm worried I may have missed some of that information along the way, but flow. So here's a mistake. See how the monitor goes over the. I don't know. You might be seeing this in out of sequence, but see what I'm seeing here now is the monitor goes over the control panel. It should have been the other way. What I would like is a way to lift that controller panel out and make changes, or actually even swap controller panels, because you can so like I could put a steering wheel in, or a different control setup, and just like, because it's just USB plug and play, slip in a different panel for different games, right? So some games Donkey Kong are 4-way, and if you use an 8-way joystick, it's harder to do, harder to use. Because if you hit that diagonal, it shows up as nothing, right? And Mario won't move, or Jumpman won't move. And of course, a lot of games are 8-way joysticks. So you have to, it's easier to swap it quicker if that control panel would hinge up or lift out. And the way I built it didn't have that ability. And it's a simple oversight. And of course, I could go back and change it, but I never have, right? And I still use my arcade the cabinet quite a bit. Like it comes in ways where I'll use it a lot, and I mean, honestly, lately I haven't used it maybe in a month or so. But there'll come a time when I'll be like using it all the time. It's just what I do, and when company comes, they like it, and I like the company likes it because I have an ego and everything else. So it's good. Yeah. Listen, I'm grateful that this was made. The creator made it. I'm grateful that I made it. This is definitely a stretch for me. As something about me you may not know is I went to school and to college to be an electronics technician, and I have a diploma in it. And I also love electronics, and of course, like, because maybe with the love of arcade as well, right? Or maybe one pushed the other, right? I don't know, but I'm fascinated with technology. I love good technology. I loathe bad technology and bad design. Yeah, so it's really part of me, and it could have been that early influence as a young child. And you could say, well, John, the reason you like that is because you've been told, you've been influenced to like that. But perhaps, but I like it. So, yeah, it's maybe a weird mix of nature, like landscaping and being creative, and electronics, but and high tech. A fairly significant portion of my life, as a younger man in my first career, I was involved in high tech, and like now it would be low tech, but back then it was. I worked for a really like a cutting edge high tech company, and everything was like the best, and we were prototyping like new designs and new tech, and it was just riding this crest of this wave of technology, and I loved it. And you know, I thought it was the greatest thing, and yeah, and I mean that all ended, and it was a part of my life I'm grateful for, and it was it's all a journey that led me to me in front of you, and you in front of the screen right now, me talking to a camera and you watching me. But it's all part of it. Man, I really got off topic on this video. Yeah, if you're watching this, you either you're interested in me talking about videos or you're interested in arcade cabinets, and I encourage you to build it. You don't have to build the cabinet like I did. It could be simpler. You could put it into an existing cabinet. You could make the cabinet much nicer. You could make a tabletop one, or inside, inside your desk, your desk in your office. There could be glass, and you move away the mat, and there's an arcade thing there, and grab a controller off the shelf or a panel and play some Pac-Man. Okay, I think I know my next project, but yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, wasn't that hard. The software, the programming side of it, a little bit of research, but it's all out there. And I'm mostly interested in like the old stuff, to be all kind of early to mid '80s video, and like arcade, like arcade, like, 'cause of course, like Donkey Kong came out for every single platform, right? Nintendo and Coleco and everything else. But I only want like the arcade version of it, and it's super. These arcade games are super tough. Like they're designed to eat your quarters, but there's an elusiveness about the arcade ROMs, because at a young age they weren't accessible. We only got the NES version of Donkey Kong, or the Atari version of Donkey Kong. We never got the arcade one, and of course we knew that. Oh, my old Buell is there. I had a. Why don't I talk about the Buell? I saw it in the corner of the shot. Because the Buell videos weren't super popular, so I probably won't get to them. But yeah, my old bike. I'm stammering. I've loved motorcycles. So I was a dirt biker for quite a while as well, and I think right after I got my driver's license, I got my motorcycles license, and I was just intrigued by it. My grandfather had a Kawasaki dealership, and as well as arcades, I was fascinated by motorcycles and kind of ATVs and things like that, but mostly just candy there. So it's all the stuff in the shop. But, hi, sorry, my battery went dead. So, what I was talking about, motorcycle. My grandfather had a Kawasaki dealership, so, and I was just enamored with motorcycles as a young age, and I knew I wanted a dirt bike. I wanted a dirt bike so bad, and of course my parents would never let me have one. Where would I drive it? And which was true, but it didn't matter to me. My brother eventually got a street bike, and of course I was enamored by it, and I loved it, and just wanted to drive it everywhere. At a young age, like a 20-minute ride was like a long way. Like that was um, that was kind of the end of the world for us too, right? We lived in a small town. We kind of lived in a bush community, and so I was just trying to. Where's my focus at? Right about there. I lived in a bush community, and there wasn't many places to go. So I moved away. Still wanted a dirt bike for a long time. No one to ride with. Finally, I met someone who had one and wanted to ride with me, and so I got a dirt bike right away. Rode for many years. Bought many different ones. Probably a lot of opportunities to really injure myself. I never did. I felt dirt biking was fairly safe, and of course we were older by then when we had kids. Like we weren't flat topping jumps or anything. Um, we were just, it's just kind of there's cut lines in the bush on public land, and we just kind of ride these cut lines through the wilderness. And there's some hill climbing. You get up to the top, and beautiful lookouts, and you have lunch, and it's just nice. I really enjoyed it. But eventually that ended. Friends got out of it, moved away, moved out of my life, and eventually got rid of my dirt bike. During that time, I bought a street bike. I was attracted to a Buell. I remember the first time seeing one, and they just were just so odd and so weird and so wrong. I had to have it. I didn't care if it was a good bike. I just wanted it in my life. I was just happy looking at it. And unfortunately, they are not good bikes, and what they are good for is looking at. If you don't know, it's kind of a race sport style bike with a Harley Davidson engine. They eventually came with some of their own design engines as well, and quite sporty. But I like that there wasn't the Japaneseness to it, and that it was this Harley Davidson old school engine inside of this sporty bike, and it's wrong. It shouldn't be that way, and it's something that upsets Harley Davidson riders and sport bike riders equally. That was something I liked, something about me. But it was a nice bike to ride, and it was sporty, and it was just like kind of this wild beast that you tame, or can be a pussycat as well, kind of thing, right? So it was cool to ride. It wasn't super reliable. I worked on it a lot. I was fixing it a lot. It was expensive to fix, which I was shocked, being such a simple thing. And then I ran into the issue is where I live, an hour or two drive is some of the greatest drives in the world. But it's an hour or two of just straight driving, no turns to get to it. So that was the issue, and driving the motorcycle, it was incredibly boring to me. If I wasn't doing turns and swoops and accelerations, I was so bored. There's no radio, and mine would drift, and it was just straight driving. And I wasn't into it. And I'm not someone who goes for joyrides. It kind of needs to be a point to it. And like I couldn't go to the store and get groceries. It was, the bike I had, there was nowhere to put it. Right? It wasn't this practical thing. And I didn't like driving in the city. I don't live in the city. I live in a small town outside of a city. But to go to the city and to cruise the strip and to be a tough guy, it's not in my wheelhouse either. That's not cool to me. To have pretend to be in a gang or something. I don't get. I don't know. But yeah. So I wasn't into that kind of cruising either. So yeah. So I eventually got rid of it. But the Buell led to my C10, which you will maybe see later. Or you can go through my videos and see my C10 truck. So what I'm watching now is a lot of wiring videos and spaghetti on my arcade project, my arcade cabinet. Back to that. Yeah, and just try to explain it. I don't know if I do a great job of explaining it, but don't let the spaghetti uh, turn you away from this project. It's not as bad as it seems. And again, I think I explained it. I find it a bit therapeutic going through. So watching House of Cards while wiring this up. So, and as I explained before, I wish I made this panel on a hinge or removable. So I can swap them out. Because as you see, it's just a USB that plugs in. So you can have that Raspberry Pi right there and just plug it in and switch panels. You could have like a driving game and steering and stuff like that. There's the Raspberry Pi. I'm looking at it. You're probably out of sequence because I just stopped the video and changed my battery. But I'll let this play on. I'm barely halfway through it. I'm gonna let this play. I'll maybe fade out, but you can keep watching it, or go back and watch the original. If I think of anything else to say about it, I will chime in. But for now, I'll just let this play. I'll say goodbye now, and thanks for stepping through this with me. This will be maybe a little bit out of order, but this will be my 5th video, so I may pause for now and come back to these videos and keep going through them. I'm enjoying going through rewatching some of these videos and just telling my experience and kind of my reason for creating them and things like that. And I'm enjoy bringing you along the way. And if there's something you're getting something out, you want to see more. If there's something you want to see specific, me to replay, and often I'll make a video, it'll be uploaded, and then I'll think, oh, I should have added this, I should have added that. And so if there's something you see, let me know. But all right, thanks for watching. We'll bring you in here. It's a 19-inch monitor. Again, it's 24-inch wide to the inside. Whoops. So, it could have taken a bigger monitor. I'd maybe go to 21. You don't want to get massive monitor because, again, the bigger the monitor is just going to stretch out the graphics. The graphics don't get better. And, the monitors, I think, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but 17, 19-inch back in the day. Of course, a lot of them were vertical, but, you can do what you want. I put it horizontal. I actually couldn't figure out how to swap it to a vertical monitor. And the old games are vertical, yes, but the more modern you get, the mid 80s, they're more horizontal, 4x3, right? So it'll fit that better. So there's always going to be a compromise. So if you're really into vertical shooters, you could consider a vertical monitor. But if you're into horizontal shooters, defender and whatnot, then you don't want a horizontal. Whoa, okay. I'm going to screw this in, and we'll see it in action. It's going to be a bit of a cut. The eagle-eye viewer among you will see I did not hook power to my monitor. And I didn't want to just say that. I wanted to do it on camera. I also have, for lack of a better term, this is just a USB extension cable. And again, it goes anywhere, so upside down. But the idea is hook this up
install all the games, and never make a change again. It'll just run and run and run. But in reality, you're going to want to make changes. You're going to add games. You're going to take them off. You're going to want to set games up differently, and you might want to change the controller setup around a bit. And you're going to need to get into the Raspberry Pi. So I got an extension cable here. It's going to go out the back. I mean, if you build your unit with a door, you won't need that. You need access to the Raspberry Pi. So that's going to give me access. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this in real time. Reach back, there's a switch. Back here. Checking the little pig is on. I hope this comes up if you're on the right angle. Takes a minute or two to boot up. There we go. So doing it with the Raspberry Pi. Does it work? Yes, I have proven it does work. The gentleman I saw, he inspired me to build this. I am so grateful for him to put up that incredible video. Did he oversell it? Maybe a little bit, but I mean, it's possible. So, and if he didn't oversell it, I probably wouldn't have made this video. So, I mean, not dissing him at all, but it's not as easy and straightforward as it would seem. The biggest thing is with the Raspberry Pi, it only uses what I understand to be old versions of these old ROMs, and they're not as easy to come by. I mean, you can download a bunch of ROMs that you just Google and see on the internet, and half of them will work, but not all of them. All of them. You're going to have to do a little searching for things like something like old arcade ROMs, maybe, or old ROMs OS or something like that. All right, we're up, so it's good. So, I mean, the easiest way to do this. Is she coming up there? Yeah. The easiest way to do this, to me, I think, would be just use an old PC, and then all your ROMs will work. It'll be great. But the thing is with that, as far as I know, it'll boot into Windows, and then you have to boot it into MAME. Whereas this is just boots right into your emulator, and from there you just give her. So you can't see my fingers. Player two here, but so you're my player two. So boom, and then we got ROMs, and I got all these working. So what am I looking for here? Something really old. Hopefully that came up, and we'll get a little volume on this. I'll reach down. Robotron's a dual stick, so you need to you'll have to tell this ROM you're using this stick, because otherwise it thinks it's a player two stick. And I can go into that. So going up, player one. Am I looking in the camera? Oh, I gotta save this person. And I gotta save this person. And this is almost perfection, because these are 8-way joysticks, and I got a pause button over here. I think you can see that. And this is my escape button. So it takes me back to the main menu. And it works great. Probably need two more buttons. One for tab, and it'll get you into the menus when you're in a game, and an enter button. I mean, but other than that, you can just, with that USB uh, controller, the USB extension cord, you just plug in a keyboard, and I've been keeping my keyboard up here about. So a little bit of the programming. Robotron is a two-stick game. To make it fully immersive, you need two sticks. Now I do have a keyboard hooked up here. You don't absolutely need it. I have a 12 button layout. If I had a 14 button layout, I wouldn't need a keyboard. Because you need, if you need to access some of the game menus, you need 2 more keys than I have. This button here is my escape, as I may have shown. But there's a button over here that is my pause, and I pause the game, right? Escape will take me out of the game into the menu. There's another button on the iPad controller, which is tab, and then you can access. I mean, you can play the game with a keyboard as well. I mean, whoop, perfectly fine. So you can do some auto fire. I mean, Robotron is already auto fire, but for the guys like me who suck at video games, auto fire is nice to have, and I turn it on games like Time Pilot, so you don't have to sit there and button mash. You just hold it down and play your game. And I don't think it takes much out of the game. It saves you a little repetitive strain injury. And then, so I mean, this works with the joystick because this joystick is the same keys as up and down. So dip switches, you can get in there, you can look at it. I decided to include this programming pit just because it wasn't necessarily, I didn't necessarily find it that easily online. It is out there, and I figured it out, and I'm not that smart. But so inputs for this game, and you'll see up, down, left, right. It is up, down, left, right on the keyboard, and then stick to player one is always one as one and two. So this is my player one. This is my player two. And then player one again. It says up, down, left, right because it's a dual joystick. And some games like Smash TV are dual joystick, and other ones out there. You would go in and you put your input in which you want up. So in this case, up is no, it's not there. Sometimes it takes a minute to do that, but and there it is. Up. Up is R or R or D. I don't know why it says D, but it should work, right? We'll back out of the game, so you can put escape here or escape here. Again, they're the same key. And no, I did something wrong already. We'll pause it. And input. Oh, so your other button would be an enter button. So tab and enter I need for this keyboard. Otherwise, I wouldn't need the keyboard. So up, I want to go and input this as up. I wonder if I might have pushed it slightly to the right and it triggered it as both. It's possible. One thing with the joysticks, I'll mention at this point, it doesn't have to do with this, but the joysticks I bought and the most that are out there, they can go 4-way or 8-way, and it's just a gate that you turn. And I recommend you need, and maybe I did cover this already, but you need to. It's much easier to play the old games like Donkey Kong and Dig Dug with a 4-way joystick. It's actually really tough to play with an 8-way joystick, and all it does is there's a gate in there, and it won't let you go diagonal, and because the diagonal confuses it, and nothing will happen. But I mean, if you make it, you'll find out for yourself. But just experiment with that gate and changing it from 4-way to 8-way or 8-way to 4-way. So we'll back out of this again. Let's try. I'm gonna have to edit this video. Oh yeah, no, it's working. Shooting up. Seems to be working good. We'll talk a little about the case itself. you're probably wondering about these graphics, and I didn't specifically do a how-to on this because this is customization, and you do what you want. These are just JPEGs I found online, and I just sent them out to a online photo processing, any company you want, and for several cents, they will print out a photo. So these are just regular, what is it, 3x5 photos? The big ones, there's bigger ones like this would be an 8x9 photo, and then they're a little more expensive. And I just use crafting product Mod Podge kind of glue, stuck them on, clear coated over it. Now I messed up my clear coat. I was trying to go for a textured finish, and I won't tell you what I did because it's embarrassing. But it came up all milky and disgusting, and it looks dirty, and I'm gonna have to fix it. So, but yeah, do what you want to put your stickers, and we just personalize it the way we want to. And we have just some retro stickers there. You can see Frogger, Nintendo, Donkey Kong. I put a little coin here. I don't know if I like it or not, but and there's stickers all over, and it just clear coated over, and it adds a little personalization. Paint it how you want. Now, as far as changes, the monitor, you can see how it's recessed, and I mean for me it's good. If you're a little shorter, what I didn't pick up is modern day monitors are designed to be looking down on. Because I mean, when you're at your desk, you're always higher than your monitor, and the viewing angle is set up that way. So you kind of have to be higher. Let's look at this monitor. So I recommend put your monitor a little more horizontal, and I'll probably do that in the future. And again, I have no way to access my Raspberry Pi, so I have to got to take my monitor out, and then I got to take this out, and I should have done this in reverse. So all I got to do is take this out, or a couple screws, hinges up, access the Pi, and go down. Now, at this point, you may not have a reason to, but yeah, it probably should have been that way. Again, if it was me, even just a couple inches wider with two-player might have been nice. Now, I asked everyone who's tried it, and they say it's fine. Like when we play in two-player, you're not bumping into each other. I'm a big guy. You get two, you know, big guys like me playing this, it might be a little bit tight. But with the 24-inch form factor, it's really efficient for wood. You don't get a lot of scraps, and of course you can rip down a 4x8 sheet, and it just works. So future cabinet, you would consider that, but I mean the 24 inches definitely works, and there's no complaint with people that have used it. I mean, maybe they're just being polite, but something I noticed, and I mean that's about it. I mean the rest of it I think I covered, but I suppose if you do have anything else to add the comments, and I'll try to update when I can. And as always, thanks for watching.